Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you have made it this far, then congratulations, you are almost done with this course. What we are going to discuss today is Project 5, the proposal, which also serves as your final exam for this class. Once again, as always, I've added several resources for you, including where to look in the textbook, some proposal writing resources, prior student samples, and a prior sample of my own. Let's jump right into it so I can tell you what it is I expect on this assignment. First and foremost, again, this is the final exam. There is no Scantron, there is no Blue Book, this is it. So be sure that your best work is in order and ready to go. You're going to create a proposal for some change that you want to see made, either in your workplace, your school, your community. Remember to consider your audience, and this is an unsolicited and formal proposal. So this is not something that the company has asked you to give them information on. You are suggesting that they should want to do whatever it is you want to do. A common one that people use as example is whether or not we should have uniforms in schools. And while that is something that you can argue really well, I'm not certain that it's something you can make a full-length proposal on. Think larger, adding new air conditioners to an entire apartment community, fixing the potholes on one major street in Houston. Think big, and then do the research to create a proposal that wants to solve whatever that big problem is. Make sure when you do your proposal that you include all of these things. You may have other things, but these are the minimums. You must have a cover page with at least one image and a title, and it needs to say prepare to buy with your name and have contact information should they have any questions for you. You need to include a table of contents that has both the headers and subheaders along with their page numbers. You also need to have a summary of the change. So tell us what the problem is directly, and then to say how your change will fix whatever that problem is. Then you need to go into a greater detailed description of the change. How is it going to work? How will we implement it? What will it look like when the changes are implemented? What will we need to do as far as infrastructure, equipment, personnel? What changes does it require? How long is this going to take? You need a timeline. You can actually make a complete timeline, or you can just list project deliverable dates. Completely up to you on how you want to handle that. You do need to make sure that you have a listing in there somewhere of equipment or supplies, as well as a proposed budget or how it will affect an existing budget. You may have to make up some numbers here, and that's okay. Just make them reasonable. Obviously, you're not going to repave Center Street in Deer Park for $14. Make it reasonable and logical, even if you can't get exact information. You also need to have a request for approval. The big trick for this is an old sales trick where you offer option A or option B, and the very, very quiet option C is that we don't want to take you up on your proposal. It doesn't even have to be included in writing. If they don't sign off on A or B, then that's obviously a C. So make sure that your request for proposal gives a couple of different options, different levels of service, etc. And then if you find, if you used any sources to get any information, you want to include those on a references page. Some further tips for success are that you need to be concise but clear. This is going to be written for readers who want well-documented, thorough discussions. This is not just, hey, I have an idea about this. This is a fully fleshed out, fully detailed idea. Be thorough. Include facts, statistics, images, maps, whatever you need to convince others that your solution is the best one and this is how things should be done. And then if you do pull statistical information, make sure that you include it on the references page according to your discipline's expectations. Okay. As always, you will submit this to EduFlow so that you can get the review and feedback from one of your classmates, and then you will review the work of someone else. Make sure that you turn it in by the due date in the Submit Assignments tab, and that you put it in PDF format before you turn it in. Congratulations, guys. You are through once you've turned this in.